It was a quiet night in the small town of Greenridge. The stars were shining bright, and everything felt peaceful. 22-year-old Alex Walker sat on the roof of his house, looking up at the sky like he always did. He loved the stars, not because he was a dreamer, but because he felt like something was always watching back. Something out there, beyond Earth, beyond what humans understood. Suddenly, a flash of light shot across the sky. It wasn't a normal shooting star. This one was bigger, brighter, and it didn't disappear. It looked like it was falling fast toward the forest behind his house. There was a loud boom, like thunder, and then silence. Alex's heart beat faster, without thinking. He grabbed his flashlight and ran into the woods. The trees were dark and quiet. Only the sound of leaves crunching under his feet could be heard. As he moved closer, he saw smoke rising between the trees. Then he saw it, a small crater in the ground, glowing with blue light, and in the center of it was a girl. She looked about his age, but her skin was pale with a faint silver glow. Her eyes were bright and strange, almost like stars themselves. Her hair floated as if there was no gravity, and strange symbols ran along her arms, glowing like fireflies. Alex froze. Was she human? Was she hurt? He took one slow step forward. The girl turned her head toward him. She looked scared, but calm at the same time. Then she spoke, her voice soft but clear. "I need you," she said. Before Alex could say a word, a sudden white light covered them both. Everything disappeared. Alex opened his eyes and gasped. He wasn't in the forest anymore. He was lying on a soft surface that felt like air. The walls around him were smooth and metallic, glowing softly with moving light. The air smelled different, like electricity and flowers. He sat up and saw the girl standing near him. She was the only thing familiar in this strange place. "Where am I?" he asked, trying to stay calm. "You are safe," she said. "This is my ship." Alex looked around, shocked. He couldn't believe what was happening. "Are you alien?" he asked. The girl nodded slowly. "My name is Alira," she said. "I come from a star system far from yours, a place your kind does not know yet." Alex stood up, still confused and overwhelmed. "Why did you bring me here? Why me?" Alira stepped closer, her eyes shining. "Because you are the one we've been searching for," she said. "There is something inside you, something that can save both of our worlds." Alex laughed nervously. "You've got the wrong guy. I'm just a normal person." Alira shook her head. "Your DNA is not normal," she said. "There's a piece of ancient human code in you, long forgotten, but still alive." Alex stared at her, not knowing what to believe. "This has to be a dream," he whispered. Alira walked over to a round table and placed her hand on it. A hologram appeared in the air, showing Earth from space. Zooming in, it showed cities, people, even Alex's face. "We've been watching Earth for many years," Alira said. "You are not the first, but you may be the last." Before Alex could ask what that meant, the ship suddenly shook, lights flickered, and an alarm echoed. Through the room, Alira's expression changed. "They found us," she whispered. "Who?" Alex asked, his voice trembling. Alira's eyes darkened. "The Null," she said. "They are coming, and if we don't stop them, Earth will be the next to fall." Alex backed away as the ship shook again. He looked at the stars outside the window, no longer beautiful, but full of danger. His life had changed forever. He was no longer just a boy from a quiet town. He was part of something much bigger, and it had just begun. Asterisk when Alex opened his eyes again. He wasn't sure if he was alive or dreaming. There was no forest, no ground beneath his feet. Just stars, endless stars floating around him like fireflies trapped in glass. He tried to move, but his body felt weightless, like he was floating underwater. Then he heard her voice again, soft, steady, strange. "You're awake," Alira said. Standing in front of him, she was no longer glowing as before, but dressed in a sleek silver suit that pulsed with tiny lights. "Where am I?" Alex asked, still dizzy. "You're safe, but far from Earth," she replied. "This is the drift zone, a hidden layer between time and space." The room slowly took shape around them. The walls were curved like a dome, shining with star. Maps and symbols he couldn't read, machines hummed gently, and a giant window showed a spiral galaxy in the distance. Alex's heart pounded in his chest. This wasn't a dream. This was real. "I need answers," he said firmly. Alira nodded. Walking toward a circular platform in the center of the room, as she stepped on it, the lights above them shifted and formed a hologram of the human body. "This is you," she said, "or rather what lives inside you." The image zoomed in to show glowing strands of DNA. But something was different, a golden thread intertwined with the normal code. "This pattern is ancient," Alira explained. "It belongs to the first humans, before history, before Earth became what it is now." Alex stepped back, confused. "I don't understand. I'm just a guy. I work at a bookstore." Alira's eyes locked with his. "You are more than that," she said. "You carry something that hasn't existed for thousands of years, and it may be the key to saving everything." Before he could reply, the lights flickered again. But this time it wasn't a ship attack, it was a message. A voice crackled through the air, human, but cold, robotic. "This is Earth Central Command." It said, "You are in restricted space. Power down and return immediately." Alex stared at Alira in shock. "They know where we are?" She turned away, silent for a moment. Then she said something Alex didn't expect. "They knew even before you were born. What does that mean?" Alex asked. Alira lowered her head. "Earth has been in contact with alien life for decades," she said, "but not as protectors, as traitors." Alex felt the floor shift beneath him. Everything he knew about the world, his home, his people, suddenly felt like a lie. "They made a deal," she continued. "To stay safe, they allowed others like me to be hunted, to be silenced." "But why me?" he asked. Alira stepped closer. "Because the ones who betrayed the stars fear what lives inside you," she whispered. "They know that if you unlock your full code, you can destroy what they've built." Suddenly, the window showed a ship. Approaching, black, sharp, and silent. It wasn't Alira's kind, and it wasn't Earth's. It was something worse. Alira's face turned pale. "The Null," she whispered. "They've found us, we have to go." The platform under Alex's feet began to shift downward like an elevator. "I don't know how to fight," he said quickly, panic rising in his chest. She reached out and touched his hand. "You don't need to know yet," she said. "But soon, you will remember everything your blood was made to do." As the ship trembled and alarms started to scream, Alex looked out into the stars. Everything was falling apart, and yet something inside him was waking up. Darkness moved like a living shadow outside the ship. It didn't fly. It floated. It drifted. Like it had no weight, no form, only hunger. Alex stared out of the viewing window, frozen in fear. The stars that once glowed bright were now vanishing one by one, swallowed by black fog. "What is that?" he whispered. Alira's voice was tense, her hands flying over the controls. "They're called the Void Dwellers," she said. "But most know them by one name, the Null." The Null didn't come in ships or use weapons. They were pure energy, pure emptiness, a force that erased light, memory, and time itself. "They don't just kill," Alira said, her eyes glowing with urgency. "They consume." A loud crack echoed through the ship as the lights flickered red. "We can't fight them here," she said quickly. "They've entered the drift zone." Alex grabbed the edge of the wall to steady himself. "What do they want with me?" he asked. Alira turned to him, her expression cold and calm. "They want your code," she said. "To copy it, to bend it, to become like us, but stronger." A strange black mist began leaking into the ship's outer wall, moving like fingers. "Searching for prey. They're trying to phase through," Alira said. "We have to leave now." She reached for a switch and pulled it. The entire room began to shake, and a hole opened in the ceiling, revealing a tunnel of light. "This is a worm path," she said. A shortcut through space. Dangerous. But it's our only chance. Before Alex could respond, the black mist struck the outer glass, not with a bang, but with a soundless pressure. It started melting. The surface like acid, forming strange symbols in the cracks. The ship groaned, metal twisting like it was alive. Alira pushed Alex into a seat and strapped him in. The ship launched into the worm path with a jolt that bent space around them. Everything outside became a blur of blue and white light. Alex's body felt heavy and light at the same time. His heart pounded, not just from fear, but from something else. Something inside him was pulsing in rhythm with the worm path. Alira noticed it too. "You feel it, don't you?" she asked. Alex nodded, breathing hard. "It's like I'm connected to this." "That's because your DNA is waking up," she said. "The deeper we go into the unknown, the more your past comes alive." The worm path shook violently, and the ship tilted sharply to one side. Alarms screamed, lights flashed. And then, silence. They had exited the tunnel, but something was wrong. The ship wasn't in space anymore. It was floating in what looked like a sea of glass. Sky above and below, reflecting forever. "We missed the path," Alira said. Quietly, "We're in the echo realm now." Alex looked around, confused. "What is the echo realm?" "It's a place where time repeats and memories echo forever," she said. "No one survives here for long, unless they know how to forget." Suddenly, Alex heard a voice, his mother's voice, calling his name, but she had died years ago. He turned and saw her standing there in the middle of the glass field, smiling gently. "Come home, Alex," she said. Alex took a step forward, but Alira grabbed his arm. "That's not her," she whispered. "That's the null, using your mind against you." Alex blinked, and the image vanished. The ship shuddered again, and Alira pulled the controls. "Breaking through the illusions. We're not safe yet," she said. "But we're out of their reach, for now." Alex sat down, shaking. "What do they really want?" he asked. Alira didn't answer right away. Then she said, "They want to become real, by taking everything real from us." Alex looked out the window, and for the first time, he didn't just see stars. He saw a war, one hidden across galaxies, waiting to reach Earth, and in the middle of it all was him, a boy with forgotten code, a key the null couldn't control. The stars had never looked so far away. The ship floated quietly after escaping the echo realm. Alex sat in silence, staring at the empty screen in front of him. His thoughts were loud, louder than the engines, louder than the fear. Then, the silence broke. A new message appeared on the main screen, but this time it wasn't a warning. It was a video from Earth. The image was blurry at first, then it focused. A man in a black suit sat at a desk, surrounded by Earth flags and strange machines. He looked directly into the camera, as if he was staring into Alex's soul. "Welcome back, Subject 7, the man said. Alex leaned forward, confused. "Subject what?" he whispered. Alira froze, her eyes locked on the screen. The man continued, "If you're watching this, then the girl has already taken you. She'd tell you lies about her world, about your DNA, about the so-called null, but she won't tell you the truth." Alex turned to Alira, but she didn't speak. The man's voice lowered, serious and sharp. "The truth is, we made her. Her kind was born from our science, a project hidden deep under the oceans of Earth. She was designed to find one of you, a key carrier, and you, Alex, were chosen the day you were born." Alex's chest tightened. "Is this true?" he asked. Alira looked down, ashamed. "I didn't want you to find out like this," she said softly. "But yes, I was created on Earth, not by humans like him, but by ones who believed Earth was already lost." Alex stood up, shaking. "So I'm not special? I'm just part of some lab experiment?" "No," Alira said, stepping closer. "You are special, because you still have a choice. They tried to make you a weapon, but you can be something more." The screen changed. Again, this time, it showed footage from Earth. Black ships landing in secret places, Humans shaking hands with beings made of light and shadow. They made deals, Alira said, her voice now filled with anger. Your leaders, your hidden governments, they gave up Earth's safety for power. They welcomed the null, thinking they could control them. Alex watched as cities flickered. As machines scanned people like cattle, it was all hidden, all in plain sight. Every camera, every satellite, every missing person, part of something darker. Why didn't anyone tell us? He said, his voice cracking. Because if Earth knew the truth, Alira replied, they would rise and the ones in power would fall. Alex's hands curled into fists. Everything he believed, family, school, leaders, heroes, had been built on silence. He wasn't just stolen from Earth. He had been betrayed by it, but there is still time. Alira said, turning the screen off. If we reach Earth's core, we can unlock what they buried. A signal left behind by the Ancient Ones, the real humans who once ruled the stars. Alex frowned, confused. Earth's core? Alira nodded. Before Earth was Earth, it was a starship, alive, ancient, sleeping. Alex took a step back. You're saying our whole planet is... Yes, she said. A seed from the stars, hidden in plain sight. Before Alex could ask more, the ship jolted. New alerts appeared, not from alien forces, but from Earth. Incoming fire detected, the system said. Human defense. Units approaching. Alex's eyes widened. They're trying to shoot us down? They don't want us to reach the truth, Alira replied, gripping the controls. They'd rather kill you than let you wake the world. The ship plunged downward, heading straight toward Earth's surface. The clouds tore apart as missiles. Chased them from above. Below them, the planet looked peaceful. Blue oceans, green lands, fake safety. But Alex now knew what waited beneath that calm. A forgotten truth, a buried heart, and maybe, just maybe, a way to fight back. The sky burned orange as Alex's ship tore through the clouds. Smoke followed behind, black trails marking the path of missiles barely missing them. Alira gripped the controls tightly, her voice calm but tense. They don't want us to land. She said, they want to erase you before you touch the ground. Alex looked through the window, watching his home approach. It didn't look like home anymore, not after everything he had seen, not after the truth. The ship crash-landed in a hidden canyon, deep in a desert far from the cities. Metal groaned, sparks flew, but they survived. Alira opened the hatch and motioned for him to run. They'll come fast, she said. We have less than 10 minutes, but... They didn't get 10, they got 2. Black choppers filled the sky, no markings. No flags, just soundless flight and red lights blinking in the dust. Alex raised his hands as soldiers surrounded him, weapons drawn. Alira stepped in front of him, but a strange pulse knocked her unconscious. She fell without a sound. Don't move. A soldier barked. Alex didn't resist. They cuffed him with strange glowing restraints. Cold against his skin, a blindfold dropped over his eyes, and the world went dark. He woke up inside a steel room. Cold and silent, his hands were chained. To the floor, a single camera watched from the corner. Then the door opened. A man in a military uniform stepped in tall, with empty eyes and no name tag. You've caused a lot of trouble, Walker, the man said. Alex didn't answer. You saw things you weren't supposed to, the man continued. You've been touched by something that doesn't belong in our world. I belong here, Alex said quietly. I'm human, the man chuckled. No, he said, not anymore. He walked over to a screen and pressed a button. Footage of Alex and Alira flashed images of them on the ship, escaping the null, running toward Earth. You think you're the hero, the man said. But you're just a virus in the system. Alex tried to stand. You made a deal with monsters. He said, you gave up Earth. The man's smile faded. We did what we had to, he said. To survive. Sacrifices must be made. And I'm the sacrifice, Alex said bitterly. No, the man replied, leaning in close. She is... Before Alex could react, another screen came on, showing Alira. locked in a glass chamber, unconscious. "They're draining her energy," the man said. "She's a living power source. A map and a memory. We'll take what we need and throw the rest away." Alex's heart pounded. He had trusted Earth, trusted humans, but they weren't protecting the world. They were trying to control it. Just then, the lights flickered. The man frowned and tapped his earpiece. "What's happening?" he asked, but before he could get an answer, a loud explosion shook the facility. Smoke poured in through the vents, alarms blared, and red lights flashed. A voice crackled through the intercom. "Unauthorized breach in Sector 3, the man cursed, and ran out, leaving Alex alone. Moments later, the wall behind him opened. A figure stepped through, a soldier in full armor, helmet hiding their face. Without a word, the soldier deactivated Alex's cuffs, pulled him to his feet, and handed him a pulse weapon. "Who are you?" Alex asked. The soldier raised their visor. It was a woman, young, sharp-eyed, and familiar. "Name's Kaya," she said. "I was one of them, but not anymore. You want to save your alien girl?" she asked. "Then follow me." Alex didn't hesitate. He grabbed the weapon and ran. Not from danger, but toward it, because now he knew the real enemy wasn't in space. It was right here, under his feet. The desert wind howled through the broken lab doors as Alex and Kaya emerged into the night. The facility behind them burned in silence, swallowed by smoke and secrets. They didn't stop to look back. There was no time. Alira's energy was fading fast, and the Null were drawing closer. The world above still slept, unaware of what crept beneath its surface. But the war had already started. They traveled underground, through tunnels that weren't in any maps. Kaya led the way with speed and certainty. "These passages were built before the Cold War," she said, "meant for secret projects. Some say they were older than the government itself." Alex followed, heart heavy with guilt and questions. He kept thinking about Alira, the alien girl who risked everything for a planet that never wanted her. He had to save her, but he also had to do more. He had to awaken what slept deep beneath Earth's skin. After hours of walking, they reached a hidden chamber carved into black stone. The air was heavy here, electric, ancient. A massive door stood in front of them, smooth, round, and marked with symbols Alex had seen in Alira's holograms. Kaya placed her hand on the surface, but nothing happened. Alex stepped forward, unsure. The moment his palm touched the door, it lit up with golden light. The metal shifted and folded away like petals opening. "Only your DNA could do that," Kaya whispered. Inside, the room pulsed like a heart. At the center stood a strange device, a floating crystal wrapped in rings of energy. Alex stepped closer, drawn to it. "What is it?" he asked. Kaya lowered her voice. "A weapon," she said, "but not one built to destroy bodies. This one destroys darkness." Alira had called it the Beacon Core, a forgotten machine left by the precursors. It didn't use fuel or fire. It used something far older, human emotion. Alex reached out, and the core responded, showing him images. The first humans, glowing with power, holding back the Null, sealing them outside the edges of time. But then, the seals cracked, and the darkness crept back in. "This is why they needed you," Kaya said. "Not for war, but for light." The core began scanning Alex's memories, his joy, his fear, his pain, his love for Alira. Each memory fed the weapon, charging it with something real, something raw. But then came the cost. The core's voice echoed in his mind, ancient and calm. "To awaken the beacon, one must give all. A heart cannot shine while still beating." Alex fell to his knees. "If I activate it," he said slowly, "I die." Kaya nodded. "Or someone else does," she said. Alex looked up sharply. "What do you mean?" Before she could answer, the ground shook. Red cracks spread across the walls. The Null had found them. Screams echoed in the tunnels. "Not human, not alive." "They're here," Kaya said, readying her weapon. Alex stood, torn between choice and fear. He couldn't let Earth fall, but he didn't want to leave Alira behind. Then a voice rang through the chamber, soft and familiar. "You don't have to." Alira stepped into the light. Her body weak but still standing, she had escaped. Or maybe the beacon brought her here. "You can't take the full cost," she said. "But together, we can share it." Alex stared at her, heart pounding. "Will we survive?" he asked. Alira smiled sadly. "Not the same as before," she said, "but maybe stronger." As the null broke through the chamber's walls, Alex and Alira joined hands and stepped into the light. The core pulsed, brighter than the sun, and the hidden weapon awoke. Light exploded from the beacon core like a supernova trapped in a heartbeat. The null screamed, not with sound, but with silence, the kind that crushed thoughts, bent space, and erased souls. But Alex and Alira stood in the center of it all, holding each other's hands, their forms flickering between human and something greater. Inside the light, time slowed, memories drifted around them like snowflakes. Alex saw his childhood, the forest, the stars above Greenridge. He saw Alira's first breath inside a lab, her escape through fire, her loneliness in space. Their paths had never been random. They were chosen, by fate, by science, by something neither of them fully understood. The beacon spoke again, not in words, but in truth. To save the world, something must be lost. Alex felt it, his body weakening, soul stretching thin like fading light. But Alira's grip tightened. "I won't let you go alone," she said. "You were never meant to carry this by yourself." The core split into two streams of energy, one golden, one silver, one human, one hybrid. Together, they stepped forward and merged with the light. The null roared, shadows twisting and retreating. One by one, their forms cracked, split, and vanished like ash in wind. The echo of their darkness was no match for the pure force of feeling, the combined memory, pain, and love of two beings from different worlds who chose each other. Above Earth, satellites shut down, dark programs failed, and secret networks went silent. Around the globe, people looked up and saw a bright pulse in the sky, like a star being born right above them. They didn't know what it was, but they felt it. Something had changed. Alex woke up lying on grass, real grass, soft under his hands, warm beneath his skin. He blinked at the sky, blue and peaceful, no darkness, no machines. A breeze touched his face for a moment. He thought it had all been a dream. Then he heard her voice. "Alira?" He called out, sitting up fast. She stood a few steps away, looking at the same sky. Her eyes no longer silver, but warm, deeply, purely alive. "You're here," he said, standing. She nodded slowly. "We survived." Alex looked at his hands, no burns, no marks, but something inside him had changed. He felt heavier, wiser, stronger. "You could have let me go," Alira said gently. "Let me carry the pain." Alex smiled faintly. "But I chose you," he said. "From the moment you said I need you, I was already yours." They stood together at the edge of a cliff, the wind carrying their silence. Below, Earth turned slowly, still full of its flaws and secrets. But now, it had a second chance. Alira turned to him. "We stopped the null," she said. "But they weren't the only darkness. There are others still watching." Alex took a deep breath. "Then we keep going," he said. "One lie at a time, we bring back the truth." Together they walked away from the cliff, not as a soldier and an alien, but as something new. The last light of the beacon flickered in the sky, and far across the stars, something ancient stirred. Watching, waiting, but it would have to wait longer, because now Earth had guardians again. And this time, they had chosen each other.